Under the cola tree, our stories unfold. Drums speak the past in rhythms bold.
Did you know that Ikuchi Nwanyi, under the Igbo traditional society, was marrying for a dead male relative's name, or keeping the widow and children of a dead male relative safe and supported in the family? You are welcome back to Igbo tradition, my heritage, and today I'll be discussing Ikuchi Nwanyi. But before I go further, if you have not subscribed to this my channel, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and when you do that, don't forget to hit that bell button so that you will get a notification anytime I drop a new video. Thank you. Like I said, today's topic is Ikuchi Nwanyi. You see, when you critically study about Igbo customs and tradition and the laws, you will find out that our Igbo ancestors, they were very wise. This Ikuchi Nwanyi, it's something that when I was really studying it, I was really saying to myself, indeed, our ancestors, they were wise. Let me start with this true life story of the present day life that we are living in, not pre-colonial era. There is this very rich young guy that passed on without a wife or a child. So the family was very, very devastated, and because there were just two of them, he gone, remaining one, although the elder brother is married. So the elder brother, seeing that all that this guy achieved and everything, said to himself he will never allow his brother's name to go like that. That is not possible. Their mom being alive and sisters, they all agreed that they were going to marry a woman in his name that will bring forth children on his name. That brings me back to this topic of Ikuchi Nwanyi. Ikuchi Nwanyi, there are two types of Ikuchi Nwanyi. The story I told you, that is called posthumous lineage marriage. Posthumous lineage marriage, or you can call it ghost lineage marriage, where a man that passed on without a wife and children, that the family would marry a woman on his name, so that he would have children to continue his lineage. Ndị Igbo say, aha mefula. If you watched, I don't know which of my videos that I talked extensively on family lineage, our ancestors never joked with anything that would jeopardize continuation of a lineage. Because in the Igbo worldview, the highest and the most valuable assets are what? Children. So that Ahamefula is so important in the Igbo tradition. That's why this Ikuchi Nwanyi was a very important practice in Igbo culture. The post have described what a posthumous lineage marriage is. When a man passed on without having any child, the family could go marry a wife on his name, and any child given birth will answer his name to continue his lineage. So that is that. Another one now is what is called widow inheritance. That widow inheritance is when a man passed on, leaving the wife and children behind. A relative of the deceased man could, step in now to take care of the widow and the children, to make sure that their place in the family is being protected. And it's not just the deceased relative will not just step in. The brother, or in a polygamous setting, the eldest son would not just step in like that. There would be some rites that would be performed. They would inform the widow's family about their intention and the community, and some rites were performed. Not that, not paying off another bride price, because bride price had been paid already by the deceased man. So what they would just do is some rites, and also for the dead husband to maintain it, for her to continue. There are some, maybe the man also, was without a child, was without a child. It's different from the posthumous, because the posthumous is when there was no wife at all, but the widow's inheritance was the deceased man had already married but no child, or the one that had children stay for protection, and then the one that did not have, then a brother could step in, a relative step in, so that the deceased man would have children. Because any child or children they begat in such relationship belonged to the dead man. So everything was to maintain the free flow of a lineage, so that no lineage will be closed up. So our ancestors never joked with anything that will close up a lineage. So they had to devise this practice of Ikuchi Nwanyi. But for a deceased man that left a widow and children, now when he came to the widow, it was entirely her choice either to remain in that family or to leave, but leave alone, not with the children. Except maybe she had a nursing child when the husband passed on. She was allowed to go with such, just to nurse the child. When the child came of age, the deceased man's family came for the child. And for the widow to be free from that family, since she decided not to stay, her family would return back the bride price paid on her head. She would be free completely from the family. Or maybe she found another man to marry. That man could, return also, be the one to return the bride price to the deceased man's family for her to be freed. So that is that. This marriage, or will I call this union, was not all about romance. It was strictly for continuation of lineage, inheritance, and legacy. Not all about love, not all about romance. To maintain a name, to make sure that no name was lost. Ahamefula. They made sure that every male child had a representative. Even if he could not while alive, even while dead, the family made sure there was a male representative. When I was going through this, researching on this, I said, wow, indeed, our ancestors, they were wise. They were wise. It's such a very, important practice to make sure that every male will have a representative here on earth, so that ahage agahefu, your name will not be lost. So that's entirely the purpose of Ikuchi Nwanyi. It wasn't all about for romance or love. No, strictly for continuation of lineage, inheritance, and legacy. That was the main purpose of Ikuchi Nwanyi. This is all I have to say about Ikuchi Nwanyi. To see you in my next video, when I will be discussing another interesting topic on Igbo tradition, my heritage. See you in my next video. Ndewono. Igbo amakakwan.
Under the cola tree, our stories unfold. Draw